Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azam Albana, and you can call me Azam. And I come from Lahat, South Sumatra, and I studied at the IDN boarding school Islam at the IDN Jonggol Islamic boarding school. I'm from 11th grade RPLP, and now I will explain and tell a little about my goal after graduating from SMK IDN boarding school. I want to try to get down to the work in office. After that, I also want to try to be a freelancer and want to try to open a business. I really want to work in a fairly rich company such as Lenovo, Acer, Asus, and others. And I want to work as a web developer. Why do I want to work as a web developer? Because web developer is a popular job this day. The lure of high salaries and a flexible work environment make many young people want to work in this field. This condition is balanced by the number of jobs as web developer, the tendency of a company to recruit or bring in people with this capacity is increasing. What is a web developer? Web developer is a role that allows to create a site. They know how to build a site from scratch, write code when needed, and make sure what user want on the site gets done. In general, this position is responsible for writing code and making it an interaction to keep a site running smoothly. They make the site as a whole and design it in such a way that users do not have trouble. According to Career Explorer, there are three main jobs in the position: ensuring code is executed on website and determining what user will see, answering code for every user comment to occur, and maintaining database. Because the task is impossible to do by one person, several companies then divide the position of web developer. There is a front end which is generally charged to when the user sees. There is also back end which is responsible for what happens on the back end or the machine. In condition, there is also a database related to the data needs of on-site. Responsibilities and job description. Web developers are responsible for building and providing the best experience for visitors to a site. They manage the layout of the page, the style of the content on the site, as well as interactive. In some companies, web developers work closely with product managers and designers. Their role will be visible when the site is built. After that, there is quality assurance team that will provide input for web developer if a problem is found. Beyond that, the following is a job description that is commonly done by web developers. 1. Creating a site. In general, the main task of a web developer is to build a site through one or more programming language. Specifically, their tasks are tailored to each role, such as front-end, back-end, or database. The front-end generally does the interactive and user HTML and CSS. Then the back-end does the behind-the-scenes work to more efficient and uses PHP or Python. Meanwhile, the database is responsible for creating and implementing data. 2. Create an site creation plan. The site creation plan is built to find out what instructions are in it. It is also used to weight each page in an instruction so that there are no problems later. Plans that have been made will be submitted to everyone in the team. The division of tasks will be done based on the ability of each person. In addition to ability, processing the time is usually another thing to consider. 3. Conduct site testing. If the site has been launched, it does not mean the task is over. Although generally carried out by the quality assurance team, site tests are also often carried out by people in this position. This check is done to find out if there are any problems when the site is being used. In some companies, checks are carried out regularly and carried out by many people so that problems can be found faster. 4. Create and test API. An application programming interface (API) is a communication protocol between various parts intended to simplify the implementation and maintenance of software. The API is usually used as a library from which a site is built. Once created, the API will be immediately documented. This is because API are very important for site development and maintenance. 5. Create and responsibility for document. For this position, workmanship documentation is a must. Documentation helps track all aspects and improve site quality. Its main focus is development, maintenance, and also a means of transferring knowledge to others. After that, I also want to be a freelancer for about 1 year, and I also want to try to open a business such as servicing computers, smartphone, and buying and sell laptops, computers, and smartphone. After I have no ICOM, I want to study from my own ICOM. I really want to study abroad, looking for experience and traveling. And I also want to buy a car for personal use. I want to buy it with my own money. After I buy a car, I also want to buy a house, private house. To After having a house at the age of 19, I want to get married, but not immediately have children. And after I get married, I want to traveling with my wife and want to study together, live together, and build a family together. After my wife has graduation from my new college, I have planned to have children because when my wife went to college, she already had a child or was pregnant. It would be the same of being inconvenient inconvenient for her and making her not focus on studying. After I have a new family, I want to go down to politics because I have the desire to build Indonesia much better than now. Like Papua and Aceh who want to spread and technology that is still a bit lacking and wants to make Indonesia name better in countries in the world. It seems that was the only purpose on my life. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azam Albana from 10 RPLB, from class 10 RPLB, from SMK IDN Boarding School, and now I will tell you about IoT. What is IoT? IoT is an abbreviation of Internet of Things. Internet of Things is a concept where an certain object has the ability to transmit data over a network and without any human-to-human or human-to-computer interaction. IoT has started to develop rapidly since the availability of wireless technology, microelectromechanical system, and of course the internet. Internet of Things is also often identified with RFID as a communication method. However, IoT can also include the sensor technology such as wireless technology and QR code. Story of IoT. IoT story. The internet became famous in 1989. A researcher named John Romkey made a device that was considered sophisticated at that time in 1990. The device is tweezer that can be turned on or off just by passing the internet. In 1994, someone named named Steve Mann created a WordCamp, and in 1997, someone named Paul Savo-Brievel explained his discoveries about sensor technology and its future. It was only then that the idea of IoT was first coined by Kevin Ashton in 1999 in one of his presentations. How many large companies are starting to explore the Internet of Things, such as Intel and Microsoft and Oracle and many more. According to Kevin Ashton in 2009, the definition of IoT is the Internet of Things that has great potential to change the world, as the Internet has ever done, even better. In 2017, IoT continued to grow with the dominance of industrial IoT, which he said grew beyond expectation. While for consumer IoT, it was still in the introduction and socialization stage. In 2018, IoT success in changing the way companies and consumers live their days around the world. The technology underlying this entry segment is evolving rapidly, whether it's rapid upgrades like the Amazon Echo and is much more modern and smart voice assistant of the growth of artificial intelligence powered analysis platforms for the enterprise market. And intelligence is even keeping an eye on this ongoing revolution by conducting the second annual Global IoT Executive Survey, which gives use all important insight into new developments in IoT and explains how does high-level perception can change from year to year. IoT is various from to has begun to be applied to many aspects of life that help humans. Cisco has even targeted that by 2020, 50 billion objects will be connected to the Internet. How to IoT works? How the Internet of Things works? How does the Internet of Things work? Actually, IoT works by utilizing a programming argument where each argument command can produce an interaction between mechanisms that have been connected automatically without human intervention and without being limited by any distance. So, the Internet here is link between the two machine interaction. The where is the human intervention. Human is IoT have only their job to be regulator and supervisor of the mechanisms that work directly. The biggest challenge that can be an obstacle in configuring IoT its work to build its own communication network. Why is it so difficult and problematic? This is actually because the network is very complex in addition. IoT also really needs a fairly tight security system. Besides these problems, the high cost of developing IoT is also often the cause of its failure. In the end, the manufacture man, manufac- manufacture and development can end in production failure. Element of IoT. The elements of IoT. There are several basic building blocks of IoT, including artificial intelligence, connectivity, sensor, active engagement, and the use of small devices. In the following, we will briefly describe each of these constitution elements. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence (AL). IoT makes almost the existing mechanism smart. This means that IoT can improve all aspects of our life with the development of technology based on all. So, the development of the existing technology is carried out with data collection, artificial intelligence, algorithms, and available networks. To find out more about artificial intelligence technology, please read the complete guide to artificial intelligence. Connectivity in IoT. It is possible to create open new networks and IoT specific networks. So this network is no longer tied to only the main provider. The network doesn't have to be large and expensive. It can be available on a much smaller scale and cheaper. IoT can create such small networks between system devices. Sensor. The sensor is differentiator that makes IoT unique from other advanced machines. The sensors are capable of defining instruments, which transform IoT from a standard network and tend to be passive in device to an active system that can be integrated into our everyday real world. Active engagement. The active engagement. The engagement technology that is often applied in generally passive. This IoT introduces a new paradigm for active content, product, and service engagement. Small device is technology paradigm do get smaller, cheaper, and more powerful over time. IoT leverages this small purpose-built device to deliver great precision, scalability, and flexibility. Various flights of IoT application. Various flights of IoT application. Example: agriculture, There are various applications of IoT in the agriculture sector. Some of the are collecting data about temperature, rainfall, humidity, wind speed, pest attack, and soil load. This data can be used to automate agriculture techniques. Then it can also be used to make decision based of available information in order to improve quality and quantity, minimize risks and waste, and reduce the effort required to manage plants. For example, farmers can now remotely monitor soil temperature and humidity, and even apply data obtained by IoT for more precise fertilization programs. And energy. Energy, a large number of devices that consume energy, such as switch electrical outlets like television, can now be integrated with internet connectivity. Then what is the impact? This integration allows machines of network that communicate in blazing electricity generation and energy use more efficiently and effectively. This device can also allow remote control access from the user, or it can also be managed from a single center via a cloud-based interface. In addition, you can also active functions such as scheduling egg to turn on or off the heating machine, control the oven, change the lighting condition from bright to dim to dark, and so on. So with IoT, cache area system can assemble and act on information related to energy and power to interest to efficiency of electricity production and distribution. Environment monitoring application from IoT usually use sensor to help realize environmental protection. What is the example like? The application is, for example, by monitoring the quality of air, of water, atmospheric or soil condition. It can even include monitoring of wildlife and the habitats. Not only that, actually, this IoT can also be used in disaster management, such as an early warning system for tsunamis or earthquakes. This of course can be very helpful. IoT device in this case means they have a very wide geographic range and are able to move. Home automat home automation IoT device can also be used to monitor and control mechanical electrical and electronic system used in various type of buildings. For example, industry or your home as a residence. This IoT tool or development can also monitor energy use in real time, no reduce energy consumption. Not only that, it can even monitor its residents. Example: as soon as you enter the house at night, the lights come on. Then once you get into a sleep schedule, the lights will turn off automatically. In the morning, your garden will be watered by an automatically sprinkler. Likewise, with your refrigerator, which can order you of food stock when it runs out. Everything can be integrated into a smart home system. Medical and healthy. Medical and healthy. In the world of medicine and health, IoT will be developed continuously. In fact, later in the future, all your health records can be transferred directly to medical personnel of hospital. The data that can be detected and sent, such as heart rate, blood sugar level, and so on and so on. Your smartphone, personal cell phone, will become a sophisticated health monitoring tool, and of course can really help you. Existing IoT device can even provide alerts when your health is declining, or provide treatment advice and even make appointments with doctor. Actually, several advanced IoT technology has been developed and applied in this field. For example, a smart bed that can automatically notify the doctor or nurse when the patient is about to get out of bed. According to a 2015 report from Goldman Sachs, the kind of medical device could save the country from excessive healthy budgets. And the last, transportation. IoT can help humans in the integration of communication control and information processing in various exciting transportation systems. The application of IoT is not constantly expanding to various aspects of the transportation system. Not only the ignore technology, namely vehicles, but also infrastructure as well, alluding to the function of the driver or user. The dynamic interaction that occur between these components come from a transportation system. The system enables inter and intra vehicles communication, more effective traffic control because it is classified as intelligent. Smarter parking, logistic and fleet management, vehicles control, and also related to safety factor and road assistance. And thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azam Albana and you can call me Azam. And now I will talk and I from class 11 grade RPLB, and now I will talk about technology. Technology is the entry means to provide goods needed for the survival and comfort of human life. The use of technology by humans begins with converting natural resources into simple tools. Prehistoric discoveries of the ability to control fire have increased the availability of food source, while the creation of the wheel has helped humans to travel and control their environment. Recent technological developments, including the printing press, telephone, and the internet, have reduced physical barriers to communication and allow humans to interact freely on a global scale. However, not all technology is used for peaceful purpose. Weapon development, increasingly intense destruction has taken place. Please throughout history, from batons to nuclear weapons. Technology has affected society and its surroundings in many ways. In many societies, technology has helped improve the economy, including the global economy of today, and has lowered an increase in the spare. Many technological process produce unwanted byproduct pollutants and deplete natural resource harm and damage the earth and its environment. Various applications of technology have influenced the values of a society and new technology often raise the ethical question. For example, the widespread idea of efficiency in the context of human productivity, a term that initially only cornered machinery. Another example is the challenge of traditional norms, that the situation endangers the environment and alienates humans. Proponents of ideas such as transhumanism and technoprogressivism view sustainable technology process as beneficial to society and the human condition. Of course, at least until recently it was believed the technological development was limited to humankind, but recent scientific studies suggest that other primates and certain dolphin communities have developed simple tools and learn to pass their knowledge on to their offspring. Definition and use. The use of the term technology has changed significantly over the last 200 years. Prior of the 20th century, the term was uncommon in English and usually referred to the description or study and applies art. The term is often associated with engineering education, as at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, founded in 1861. The term technology began to stand out in the 20th century along with the passage of the Second Industrial Revolution. The nation of technology changed at the beginning of the 20th century when American social scientists started by Thorstein Veblen translating ideas from the German concept technique into technology in German and other European language. A distinction exists between technique and technology, with that time was virtual nil in English because the two terms were commonly translated as technology. In the 1930 second, technology did not only refer to the study of industrial arts but also to industrial arts themselves. In 1937, an American sociologist Reed Bain wrote that technology includes all tools, machines, utensils, weapons, instruments, housing, clothing, communicating and transporting device, and the skill by which we produce and use the technology include all tools, machine, apparatus, tools, weapons, housing, clothing, transfer and communication device, and the skill that enable us to provide them. The definition proposed by Bain is still commonly used by scholars today, especially social science, but there is also an equally prominent definition, namely the definition of technology as an applied science, especially among science and engineers. Although most social science who study technology reject this definition. More recently, two scholars have borrowed from European philosophers technique to expand the meaning of technology to various forms of instrumental reason, as in the work of Foucault about technicus. The SOI translate as technology of the self of the technology themselves. In general, technology can be defined as an entity, object, or object that is created in an integrated manner, thought, action, and thought to achieve a value in this use. Technology refers to tools and machines that can be used to solve real world problems. It is a broad term. It, it can also include simple tools, such as a crowbar or wooden spoon, or complex machines such as the space station or particle accelerator. Tools and machines do not have to be objects. Virtual technologies, such as software and business methods, are also included in definition of this technology. The word technology is also used to refer to a set of techniques. In the context, it is the current state of human knowledge about how to combine resource to produce desired products, solve problem, meet needs, or stimulate wants. It includes technical methods, skill, process, the techniques, tools, and raw material. When combined with other terms such as medical technology or space technology, it refers to the state of knowledge and the respective disciplines of knowledge. State of the art technology, the latest technology as well as the most advanced, refers to the high technology available to humanity in any realm. Technology can be seen as an activity that shapes or changes culture. Moreover, technology is the application of mathematics, science, and various arts to the benefit of life as it is known today. A modern example is the rise of communication technology, which reduce barriers to human interaction and as a result has helped to give birth to new subcultures. The rise of a virtual world culture based on the development of the internet and computers. Not all technologies improve culture in creative ways. Technologies can also help is political repression and warfare. Tools such as pistol and as a cultural activity. Technology based on science and engineering, each of which formalize some aspect of technology and the effort. Science, engineering, and technology. The destination between science, engineering, and technology is not always clear. Science is a reasoned investigation or study a phenomena aimed at discovering the principle inherent among the elements of the phenomenal work by employing formal techniques such as the scientific method. Technology does not have to be the result of science solely because technology must meet requirements such as utility, usability, and safety. Engineering is a goal-oriented process of designing and manufacturing equipment and systems to exploit natural phenomena in particular human contexts, often but not always using the results and techniques of science. Technological development can be described in my domains of knowledge, including scientific knowledge, engineering, mathematics, linguistics, and history in others to achieve a particular result. Technology is often a consequence of science and engineering. Although technology as a human activity often parallels both domains. For example, science can study the flow of electrons in electrical conductor using pre-existing equipment and knowledge. This newfound knowledge can then be used by engineers and technicians to create new equipment and machines such as semiconductor, computers, and other forms of advanced technology. In this way, science and engineers can both the view as technology. Thus, their domains can often be viewed as one for research or and reference purpose. The exact relationship between science and technology has in particular been debated by science historians and policy makers and the 20th century, in part because debate and inform the finishing of base of applied science. In the aftermath of World War II, for example, is the United States, there was a widespread assumption the technology was simple and applied science, and that to found basic science was to reap to the rewards of technology in due course. This philosophical articulation can be found explicitly in Vannevar Buster's on post-war science policy, Science the Endless Frontier. New product, new industries, and more jobs require continued knowledge of the laws of nature. The essential new knowledge can be obtained only through basic scientific research. However, in the late 1960s, this view emerged against the backdrop of attacks which led directly to various initiatives to fund science to specific purpose. These initiatives were rejected by the scientific community. The issue is still debated, although most initially reject the model that technology is simply the result of scientific research.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azam Albana, and you can call me Azam, and I class RPLB. And now I will explain about the NVIDIA VGA card. Why a VGA card? VGA card is an object that enhances graphics on a laptop and a PC. And NVIDIA is a company that launched VGA card. NVIDIA. NVIDIA is an American multinational technology company founded in Delaware and based in Santa Clara, California. And NVIDIA was founded on April 5, 1993 by Jensen Huang. And the first VGA launched by NVIDIA is Riva 128, which was released in 1997. Riva itself stands for Real-Time Interactive Video and Animation Accelerator, and the income from NVIDIA is around $534 days. And this first VGA from NVIDIA, which was released in 1997. And now we will see the development of VGA from NVIDIA, and this is the latest VGA from NVIDIA. This is RTX 2080 Super, and we can see the difference very far from the VGA card that was first released by NVIDIA. And now the users of the NVIDIA VGA card in the world are very many, and that's all I can explain, and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.